Before we get started with today's video, if you guys were expecting to see how the fishing trip went, we got rained out. Yeah, but that's okay. There's gonna be many other times we can go, man. So with that being said, let's start today's video. Today's video has to do with life after a heart attack. It's a series I'm doing. And in case you guys are just now tuning in, about maybe once or twice a week, I do a series of life after a heart attack. 8 years ago, I had a massive heart attack. I literally died 3 times. So now I'm telling you what life is like. What do I do? What did I do after the heart attack? How was things today? And that's what this video is about. Alright guys, I'm down here at beautiful Waterway Park. My walking's already over with. I did that this morning. And let's get started! Okay, today I want to talk about some monsters and demons that came after my heart attack. Yeah. Everything's great, you know? After the heart attack, after getting out of the hospital, I started feeling really good. I started my walking thing right. Started eating right. But I came with little extra presents. And where they come from is beyond me. I call them monsters and demons. It's actually phobias and anxiety. Okay, the phobia part. I'm going to tell you, what I'm about to tell you guys, try not to laugh, okay? And I'm being very open with this. And I don't like to talk about it, but we're going to anyway. I came out with some phobias like you would not believe. I never had these before. One of the phobias is I can't take a shower without having some kind of freak out attack as soon as I close that shower curtain. I've been known to actually step out of the shower with soap all over me and be like, then get back in there and finish because I feel like something's cutting the air off. Yeah. Anything medical, anything that has to do with medical, I can't handle it. No. I don't like to go in any place that has to do with medicals. I can't stand crowds. There's a long list of phobias that I somehow attached with after the heart attack. Now let's talk about the anxiety. I call this the demon. After the heart attack, I started having anxiety issues. And I've been dealing with this for 8 years. Guys, let me tell you, the anxiety can be anything. And a lot of the anxiety I have has no triggers. None. I have no clue what's bringing them on. But I have figured out some of the triggers, though, over the years. And I'm going to tell you some of the triggers of my anxiety, then we'll talk a little bit more about the anxiety. And just like I said before, these triggers are going to be nonsense to those that never had anxiety issues. But they're very, very much real to me. Okay, some of the triggers is weather changing. Yeah, every time. Some of the other triggers is obstacles that, like when I go walk. I have a lot of anxiety sometimes when I walk. Obstacles like cars, things that's not normally there, that are there now. For some reason, it triggers the brain. It can be even uneven surface I walk on. Gives that funhouse effect. I think that anxiety comes from I have an inner ear problem. I've always had that before the heart attack. Crowds bring on the anxiety. Now I'm going to tell you the really bad anxiety that doesn't have a trigger. I could be walking, all of a sudden, boom, it hits me. Where does that come from? I have no idea. But I fight it every dang time. And also, another anxiety trigger is from anxiety. Anytime I have an anxiety issue that's 9 or above, I guarantee with the next day or so, I'm going to have a couple small anxiety attacks. Yeah, I don't know, what are they, like echoes? Back a couple days, actually back last week, I had a major anxiety attack. We're not going to get into it. It went up to a number 10. Okay, I was able to bring myself down quick. Well, just like all the other ones that get up that high, I have a couple more the next day. Now I'm going to tell you some of the other anxiety that I picked up on the last couple years that I have no explanation for it. Okay, give you an example. Let's say I'm down here and there's another person down here, okay? And for some weird reason, I pick up other people's feelings, maybe? Like if they're anxious or if they're worried about something, somehow, some way, I'm feeling it too. How the hell does that happen? Is that like another echo? That wind is bad. Hopefully it ain't dicking over the microphone part. That happened this morning. It was a guy on the phone, and he kept walking back and forth. I couldn't hear anything he was saying because I had my music going, but every time I got close to him, I felt anxiety. I felt the need to go home. I felt the need to basically need to talk to somebody. I have no idea. This isn't the first time this has happened. I can walk past a group of people and just kind of feel what they're feeling. Where the hell's that come from? What the hell? I mean, it's bad enough I suffer alone with my anxiety now. I'm suffering with other people's anxiety. None of these things were there before the heart attack. I don't know if it's because of me dying to come back to life 3 times. I don't know. I do know one of them times I died, I was dead for a while. I don't know. But yet today, I overthink everything, and it don't take much for anxiety to kick in, and then I immediately take it to the worst scenario in seconds. And then the following anxiety goes to panic attack. Then next thing you know, I'm like all freaking the hell out, like trying to calm myself down. But most of the time I get a handle on it. Most of my anxieties are 5s and 6s. But when it gets up to 9 and 10, it's I have to leave. Most of my walks are flawless though, okay? I mean, like I said, my anxiety level is usually a 5 to a 6. That's average. Most of my walks are flawless. But sometimes I'll be walking and it could be an obstacle. It could be something different. Whatever it is triggers something up in here and says something's off. Something's off. And then I start feeling it. I started feeling very anxious. I started feeling like freaking, panic's coming. And then my mind goes to the worst possible thoughts in seconds, man. In seconds. Then I'm like, okay. Now, I did find some things that help my anxiety, and one of the things is kind of bad. One of the things that do help my anxiety is when it's on, and this only works when my anxiety is about a 7 or an 8. And I can't always do it, but if I can make myself angry, if I can make myself a little bit grrr, somehow it helps the anxiety. Or, as strange as this sounds, and this is what helped me out today and other days, I put my hood up, then I walk. As long as I don't get my eyes, it kind of blocks everything from the side of me out. And the next thing you know, I'm like a robot riding on board. Yeah, that's how it feels like sometimes when I walk, guys. I get into the mood, and it feels like I'm on top. I'm like sitting inside of a robot that's moving. And I'm jamming out my music. But sometimes doing this helps. I'm doing the walking thing. I'm eating as right as I can eat. Things are going great. Body's pretty much in shape. Is better. Well, it's better than what it was 8 years ago. Way better. But this anxiety is horrible, guys. Now, I was going to seek out help for the anxiety, and then COVID came. Yeah. And honestly, if you remember, it's one of my triggers. Anything has to do with medical. Yeah. Now, if I could get somebody to walk with me and talk with me, I have no problem. Now, here's another thing that's a phobia too. Now, this is a phobia. Bright lights inside of a house. Major bright lights, that bothers me. But that's funny though, because I could be outside in the sun, and the brightest sun, that doesn't faze me at all. It actually makes me happy. It's just certain bright lights inside the house get to me. Now, some of my friends say that could be when I was on the table and they was working on me and they had that bright light. That could have something to do with that. I don't know. All right, let's go back to the car and let's sit down. That wind is horrible out here. Oh, I should have left my hood up. My ears are cold now. You know, that wind started kicking in here this morning when I walked. A good portion of my walk. Oh, we didn't have much wind at all. Then it started kicking in like you would not believe. But guys, life after a heart attack. I don't know if it's because I died 3 times or what, but I have phobias and anxiety issues. Not all anxieties are the same. Some people tell me their anxiety is different than mine. For years there, I thought everybody had, when they said they had anxiety was exactly the same as mine. They freak out. Immediately their mind goes to the worst scenario, then following the panic attack. No. Some people say when they have the anxiety issues, they get anger. They get the urge to want to throw things, yell, scream. And other people say they get the urge where they want to crawl up in a corner and just hide. I wish I had that. No, I don't wish I had that anxiety. Because I'm sure that's just as bad for them as mine is for me. Mine? Why'd I get stuck with this one? Whew. Guys, I'm on a time frame right now. Leave me comments down there, okay? Like I said, I was very open in this video, and I don't feel good about doing videos like this, because I don't like to let out things that bother me, because in my mind, I fight them every day. I fight my demons and my monsters, and it's hell sometimes. Sometimes I could be in the middle of nowhere walking, and one of these things hit, and I'm like, shit. And I had to find a way to calm myself down. And one of the things that helps is make myself angry. Which is funny because I'm supposed to be stress-free. It's hard to find things that make me angry today. Did you know that? Oh yeah. Since I try to stay stress-free, I don't have problems. Because I really don't care. That's the way to be. Something occurs like, oh, shoot, don't care. You can't let it get to you. You just can't let things get to you. Because stress is bad for the ticker, folks. That's right. It is horrible. Alright, guys. Until next time. Hopefully, we will do some type of hiking video or a walking adventure or whatever the case may be in the next. But until next time, come on. Let's get out of here. We'll see you in a couple days, okay? Leave me comments. Do you have anxiety this bad? And what's your triggers? I have a lot more triggers I didn't mention. A lot more. But the most of them I did mention is what causes them. Most of my anxiety doesn't have a trigger. It just happens. Just out of nowhere. Alright guys, until next time. Come on. I'm out of here.